The halfback option, you're used to Jankowicz running in for touchdowns here. He's the one who throws one. It's a perfect shot to Berto Santiago for 36 yards out. Now they're going to go swinging gate here and then set for the extra point, which, of course, will be done by Andrew Advani. And we'll see how he does here. With 3:44 left here in the half, the snap, kick on its way. You can make that 7-0.
Great job.
Hillsborough
Great job.
with a 7-0 lead. And how, I tell you what, Joey, we got to see how Jankowicz was able to find Santiago so wide open and how that play developed.
That was a great call by the offensive coordinator there on Hillsborough's part. You had Westfield's defense really aggressive, over-aggressive, and you would see that they were trying to get there. Here we go. We got the replay here.
Yeah, I think keep your eye on Santiago lined up on the right. Now watch what happens.
There we go.
Split the defenders and
safety red run. Yeah, safety red run. He was on his way up already. So that's what happened when you get a couple of good plays by Jankowicz running the ball. Well, you get the safety to come up.
The two secondary players just bit, and Santiago said, "Thank you."
That's right. Great call. Great call by the offensive coordinator. He saw that Westfield was just a little aggressive there. They all coming downhill. He said maybe we can get them with this play. Sure enough, they did.
Beautiful job. 36-yard touchdown from Jackson Jankowicz to Berto Santiago, and Hillsborough with a 7-0 lead. Now it's a matter of the defense stepping up and trying to do a shutdown drive. Kickoff taken at about the 10-yard line. I believe it's Mangarini who will be stood up at about the 25-yard line. Give credit to Connor Carsey, Jr., who stopped Mangarini there, and it'll be Westfield's ball 1st and 10.
Good job. Good job by the defensive there. Once again, like I said, special teams going to be big here, so them not giving them a good opportunity to get good field position was good. Now the defense needs to be fired up. I think we're going to see a little bit more of the tight end again, or that number 84. A little more play action now, possibly, and trying to get him in the open field again.
All right, let's see how Westfield responds. I mean, they've done pretty good on offense in cases, but the deeper they've gone down the field, they face more Hillsborough pressure. Now let's see what develops here on 1st and 10 for the 25-yard line for Cole Weidler and company. He'll stand a shotgun, receiver on each side. I'm guessing that Rudo is next to him. Play action pass, they throw left. Pass is bobbled and knocked away, incomplete.
It's a flag.
But there is a flag on the play at about the 29. Let's see what this is about. And Nick Simon says,
okay. We got ineligible receiver downfield.
Oh, an illegal player downfield. So that's going to be a 5-yard penalty.
Okay.
And I think what happens is, like, I don't know it's in high school, whether it be a 1 or 2 yard gap, and then after that.
Right.
So evidently they got Zach Rack downfield. So that's going to be a 5-yard penalty. So 1st and 15 for the 20-yard line. And sometimes it happens, and we have a play fake like that, and all of a sudden you're blocking downfield without the ball being thrown. Like, why am I doing that here?
Yeah, exactly. He was just a little overzealous there and got upfield and managed to start blocking too early there.
All right, so 1st and 15 now for the 20-yard line. Weidler in a shotgun. They got a slot on the right. He's going to call his own number, and Hillsborough's ready for the task. And maybe gets a yard to about the 21-yard line.
Good job by the defense this time, recognizing that run by the quarterback and stopping him in the backfield there. That was for no gain.
That was Carsey with the stop, by the way. He's had a very nice first half.
So far, he's been having an excellent first half. I tell you, coming up making a lot of plays, which is good. Although you don't want your safety coming up too much to make plays like that. You'd rather have your linebackers, but that he's making them is important.
Well, it turned out to be no gain. 2nd and 15. Waiter back looking. Got a shot on 11 as a man. Mangarini, 35. Spins around, goes down to the 37-yard line. That's a first down. Mangarini gained 17 on a play. He was left wide open. The only thing negative about that was the ball was in the air a little bit too long.
Right. I mean, but there was no defenders. There was one guy underneath him. I don't know if he was he was expecting help over the top, which he didn't get. So either that or the receiver just cut his route short.
All right, same formation. 1st and 10 for the 37. A low snap. Wheeler's going to roll right. And he's going to lob one, and that pass incomplete. It hit the ground to midfield stripe. They went in the direction of Jordan Walsh, the sophomore. You just couldn't get to that. Keep in mind, 2:32 left till halftime. Both teams have all 3 timeouts.
Yeah, that's correct. I mean, right now, what Hillsborough did, they came up with pressure off the backside, but he rolled away from that and was able to get the pass off anyway. So I think that's where they were more successful the last time when they got the 2 sacks coming off the black side.
Well, considering right now where Westfield is, their own 37, they would like to try and wind this clock down because Hillsborough gets the ball to start the second half.
Correct.
So kind of thinking a little bit of a touche on both sides here. 2nd and 10 for the 37. Wheeler again to shotgun, receiver on each side. Pretty much been the same formation throughout the evening for Westfield. Play fake, back to pass. Hit as he throws the ball, and it's still caught by Magnarini. He caught it at the 41-yard line. I mean, I don't know what that was a reverse helicopter there. But Magnarini was able to do a great job catching it and gains 21 and moves to 6 for Westfield.
Right. So I'm not sure what happened there. I was looking away, but great play. A lot of pressure, but he was able to get the ball off. Great catch. Good defense still.
Well, here's one that went to the direction of Colin Coyle, and he couldn't quite get that one, incomplete. But Hillsborough has been picking and choosing when to fire those shots, and it has, I mean, sometimes it's worked, other times they've left the man wide open.
2nd down.
So it forces 2nd and 10 for the 46. And they're going to line up with a slot receiver. Looks like Coyle lined up in the slot this time on the right. Wheeler in the shotgun. Ball at the 41-yard line, takes it, goes back, fires at the middle.
Over the middle, good team.
The ball and the defender got there, but so did the flag.
That was a late flag.
Very late. Cooper Carsey on the coverage. Did he get here sooner, but then the ball did?
All right. We got defensive pass interference here.
Wow. Tough break for Hillsborough. It looked like everything converged all at once, but maybe Carsey was a tenth of a second too early. So that's going to be a 15-yard penalty and 1st and 10 for Westfield in their deepest penetration of the evening.
On the defense, 1st down.
Wow, I don't know if he was there early, but I mean, it's a tough call to get right now. Once again, here we are with these penalties. Who's going to, is he going to be able to capitalize, Westfield? Are they going to be able to capitalize on this? Or is Hillsborough defense is going to stiffen up again right here?
Well, that's a tough break for Hillsborough. So Westfield has it 1st and 10. Low snap and now a handoff. Rudo has a hole, crossing the 20, crossing the 10, and crossing his way into the end zone. And that pass interference call turns out to cost Hillsborough as Westfield answers back and looks to tie the game.
Yeah, once again, they're critical mistakes here. If you don't get that pass interference, you're still playing some good defense. And, you hopefully this doesn't happen. But now you got to step up and make a play here.
It was Rudo from 26 yards, and they will try the extra point to see if they can level this thing at 7 apiece. It will be number 3, Nicholas Lucas, the senior, to try and level the score here. Last second substitution. Waiting on the snap, a high snap. Kick on its way. He sent that to Route 202, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Great kick there.
And that levels the game with 2:03 left and a half, 7-7. And you got to give credit to the Westfield offensive line. They've done a good job. We'll take a look at the
Take a look at this replay
of
here.
the Rudo score. Watch both lines as they go here.
Oh, look at that. Yep. The backers were non-existent on that play. They read the wrong holes. What happened there was you had backers in the same hole as a defensive tackle. Yeah, if you're playing gap control ball, you're not supposed to be in the same hole as your other opponent, your other player there. So that was a mistake on the linebackers hitting the wrong holes.
I totally agree. I mean, and sometimes it just takes a little. It's just one little mistake, even if it may not have been one, to go against you, and all of a sudden, boom, you got a level game.
Well, let's see now how Hillsborough comes back out and answers this.
Well, anyway, It'll be Hillsboro ball. Remember, both teams have all 3 timeouts, and this is going to be a very important possession for Hillsboro. Remember, they get the ball to start the second half, so they want to make sure they get points and take off these final 123 seconds of the half.
That is correct. I mean, with 3 timeouts, hopefully, you can get some good plays going, and you can work the whole field right now still. Your playbook is completely open.
All right, here we go with a kickoff. A short one. Let's see who gets it at the 10. It's not Jankowicz. It's Schwartz, who sneaks out of a tackle and gets out of bounds. We'll see where they spot it. They're going to say just shy of 30. Pushed out of bounds by Benjamin Broda, the senior. I'm sorry. Also, there was Nicholas Russo on the play. So they're going to spot the ball to 29, and Hillsboro will have it 1st and 10.
Well, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens here. If Hillsboro can come up with a good offensive play. No trick play this time, but if that's what you need again, then that's what it takes, and let's get it done.
I'm sure that they're going to be focusing a lot. The defense is going to focus a lot more on Jankowicz, so the other players are going to really need to step up here. Here's Seaman to shotgun on 1st and 10. Play fake and a fire and incomplete. I mean, got it off pretty quickly, but unfortunately, Jankowicz just couldn't come down with it. And sometimes it happens, You're just ready for whoop, where'd that come from?
I think he was looking upfield first. I think he was thinking about run before catching the ball. He should have just looked the ball into his hands, get it, and then continue upfield. He had some blockers out in front of him. He might have been able to get a couple of yards, but Westfield's defense was there, so.
Well, they're the masters of the bubble screen, it seemed. All right, on 2nd down, here's Schwartz, who's going to try and turn the corner, and he's not going to get much, if any, at all. Thrown out of bounds, but the official said the play ended inbound, so forward progress is stopped, and now may have a timeout called by Westfield. So they'll use their first timeout here in the second half. So while we take a break, minute 41 to the half, we are tied at 7. We'll be back in a moment.
Okay. And we're back.
Yes, we are. 3rd and 10 after a Westfield timeout. Seaman the shotgun. They spread. Back to pass looking. Throwing pass. Tap, and it's caught.
Good catch.
And no, it's dropped. Incomplete. It was Santiago, the intended receiver, but when the defender hit him, he lost control of the ball. So it's just ruled incomplete. And that's big because now Westfield get the ball back with 2 timeouts, and they'll get the ball with just under a minute and a half left.
I think that's why Westfield called the timeout. It's smart on their part. They can get some time on the clock here, and 2 timeouts, you can still do some work. So we have to see what kind of a punt we get here.
Okay, so on 4th down, let's see how the punt goes. Oh, drop the snap, but he's able to punt it, and it gets a Hillsboro bounce, rolling a little bit inside the 40. And I think he got out of bounds to the 36. Talk about a lucky bounce for Hillsboro. Not only that, they were able to take 13 seconds off the clock on that play.
Good job, and great punt. Great coverage by the defense, and an awesome roll there. Another great roll, so. Now Hillsboro's defense really needs to lock in and be able to get a stop here, 3 and out, and maybe get some time on the clock with still 3 timeouts.
Well, keep in mind, we know Westfield has a kicker, Nicholas Lucas. He's a senior, and he boomed an extra point.
That's right.
So we know they're going to try field goals. You see us here. I'm on the right, Joey on the left for whoever you're watching. Glad you can join us here on HSG Network here on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe, and let's try to get to that 3,000 mark if we haven't done that already.
Hopefully soon.
All right, 1st and 10. Here's Weidler firing. Pass caught. Oh,
Good
the
job.
defense is right there. Maybe a yard and a half, if that. And
Second down.
Was there a timeout called? No, they're going to keep her on the clock. So Walsh catches that one for a yard. 2nd and 9 for the 37. Fast forward they go. Wheeler in the shotgun. Will take. Goes back. Looking. Will lob under. He's got man. It's Mangarini inside the 40 to the 35. That'll
Wow.
stop the clock. And
Yeah.
we'll see if they use a timeout here with 52 seconds left. Ball spotted to 36.
I'm not sure what they were running there defensively. I don't know if they were in a 2 because he allowed him to get a free inside release there, and he's playing inside shade. I'm not sure how that happened.
Wheeler's going to fire this. There's a flag down, and the pass ends up going to about the 32-yard. Now let's check the flag here. Let's see what this is all about.
We have an ineligible receiver downfield on the offense.
Happened
Number
again.
5.
Same player, too, number 5 again.
Zach Ragg, you are correct. He's just having a rough day being downfield, and that's a costly penalty. I'll back it up 5.
41.
So the ball be spotted at the 41-yard line.
On the offense.
It's a good thing for Hillsborough with the penalty right now to get a little more space to breathe as far as defense goes. But they need to really step it up. Like I said, their coverages, they need to get them down right. You can see I'm seeing it too high here, but I don't see how he gave him a free inside release.
Wheeler play fakes. Now he's going to run to his right under pressure, and he will just lob it to his bench incomplete. Once the pocket collapses, then obviously he can't call intentional grounding unless the ball doesn't make it past the line of scrimmage. So
Correct.
it's a smart play on the part of Wheeler.
Great play by Weaver because, I mean, to get outside and be able to recognize that he got no one, throw the ball downfield, don't get intentional grounding, and still play for another down. He still got second down here. And 33 seconds, it looks, 32 seconds left on the.
And they have 2 timeouts, keep in mind. 2nd and 15 from the 41. Again, receiver on each side. Wheeler again the shotgun. He'll take a low snap. He has it now looking. Going to take a shot the middle. Just a little bit off, incomplete. Oh, that would have been a tremendous catch by Jordan Walsh. But it was just a slight bit off. Kevin Jones was defending on the play, but now forces a 3rd and 15.
Hillsborough got really lucky there because, I mean, he had that. I didn't think he was going to drop it, but he dropped the ball. Good defense, but once again, the middle of the field has been open for Westfield, and Hillsborough has had no answer for it.
All first half. And I'm sure Cardi's going to be making some adjustments in the locker room with homecoming festivities going on to half. Here's Wheeler back to pass, going to throw right. Intercepted! I don't know what he was looking at, but there was only black there, and it just so happened to be Adrian who was right.
Flag.
Thank you.
Late
There
flag
is a
on the play.
flag. Let's see what this is about.
It's a late one on the flag, on the play there.
All right, we're going to find out what this is. We'll see if the turnover stands.
Oh, thank you.
Looks like it happened after the play. And if this is on Westfield, that could be, it could also be a sideline warning, but we'll see what Vic says.
Dead ball. Unsportsmanlike here. Dead ball. Unsportsmanlike here. Offset.
Okay, so offsetting unsportsmanlikes. So play downs at about the 39-yard line. So Hillsborough will get the ball 1st and 10. So the unsportsmanlikes happened after the play ended. So now Hillsborough, they have all 3 timeouts, 20 seconds left. And we'll see how things go. They're going to go spread, it looks like. I'm not sure they'll do hook and ladder or halfback option or triple razzle dazzle. Who knows? All right, so here we go. 1st and 10 from the 39-yard line. Seaman will take it. And now they're going to go Jankowitz up the middle. Look at this. 45, midfield still going. And out of bounds at the 46. It's going to be
a great call.
Down. And it stops the clock with 14 seconds left. Now you can take 2 plays, or maybe 3, before the clock hits 0, and use your timeouts after each play to possibly get a field goal. Remember, Advani does have a little bit of a leg.
That's correct. I mean, it was a great call. I mean, you knew the defense was going to be playing soft. They're going to defend the end zone. So why not call it draw with Jankowitz? I mean, he has the ability to break one play for a touchdown. So it was a good call on their part.
All right, so it was a 14-yard pickup, 1st and 10. Seaman again to shotgun. He'll take it, goes back, he'll throw right, pass is caught, and down at about the 41. Now they'll call timeout. Berto Santiago was the one with a catch. And now with 6 seconds left, Hillsborough will call timeout.
That's good call, good pass. I mean, you would have want Santiago to be a little closer to the sideline to hopefully get out of bounds and not have to use that timeout. But having 3 is a good thing for you anyway. I mean, with 6 seconds left on the clock, I believe. I mean, where do we go from here, Tom?
You know what I think? Try and do a draw and then slide down with 2 seconds left. Call if you get the first down. I would try and get maybe 5-10 more yards. The only way you keep going is if you think you're going to score.
Correct. All right, I guess that would be
As
not a
here we are
not a
again.
bad idea, not a bad call. But I mean, you got to know it's 6 seconds. It's got to be quick, and then the timeout's got to come right away.
You think Cardi's talking about how they're going to strategize these last play or two?
I think so. I think he's going to try to go to the end zone with Santiago.
Yeah, they got to be careful of the time here with 6 seconds left. I mean, obviously the timeouts don't carry over, but you want to make sure you get the precise call in, and either that or hope for a defensive penalty to gain position and possibly get points for the final play of the half.
Which is possible, yeah. But I see Santiago down here. He's probably going to be in a cover 2, but still, I think that's the call right here.
Well, it looks like they're going to go 3 wide slot left. Let's see what happens. They give to Jankowitz.
Jankowitz again.
Go. Let's see, 35. And he's going to run out of time. He goes down to 34, but the clock runs out, and we go to the locker room even at 7. So your thoughts on the first half? A pretty interesting one, Joey.
Good first half. I mean, the penalties hurt Hillsborough on that last one there. That pass interference continued the Westfield's drive and allowed them to get into this game. And once again, Hillsborough capitalized on Westfield's penalty. So good job of both teams, and hopefully, we'll see a better second half.
Well, it's going to be a little bit of an extended halftime because it is homecoming night. And what we're going to see, I think we're going to see here in the halftime ceremony, the Pride of Hillsborough Raider Marching Band and their halftime show. We saw it a couple weeks ago. You got a chance to see it again. Not sure if they're going to do every number, but then, of course, they'll have the homecoming festivities to follow. So we'll pause briefly. Westfield and Hillsborough tied at 7 here at the end of the half. Your halftime ceremonies with the Hillsborough Raider Marching Band coming up in a moment.
The world is alive with color. Know that each of us is a work of art in constant progress. You are your own canvas, your own combination of colors, your own brush, and your own inspiration. So let's explore your color palette.
Green personalities are generally compassionate and harmonious. You value relationships, are naturally empathetic, and often place others first. So color your life with optimism and joy so that each day will bring something special.
Red is often characterized by determination and a dynamic approach to life. You tend to enjoy living life in the fast lane and generally quick to make decisions. So be bold and splash your life's story with red.
If you resonate with the color blue, you are likely reflective and appreciate the beauty of nature. Prefer to observe and understand the world around you. So paint your world with harmonious shades of blue.
Personalities are typically very optimistic, creative, and inspire others. You radiate warmth and positivity with an energy that tends to draw people towards you. So be uniquely you. Stand out and shine. And you are the painter of your canvas. Never forget for an instant how many colors your life is forever adding to the lives of those around you. Add as many tones to your painting and make it beautiful. Together, we can brighten the whole world. And never forget that you are the piece that makes the difference.
We're good.
All right, we are back, and surprise, surprise, Mother Nature decided to show up. About ready to start the second half here at David Noonan Field here in Hillsboro High School. I'm Tom Wilkins with Joey Pagan and Howard Gaver taking care of the controls in what has been a very interesting homecoming night. We're tied at 7. Hillsboro to receive the ball as here's the ball kicked off to start the second half, directional to one of the up guys who juggles it, gets to a couple of tackles, and is able to get close to the 30-yard line. That was Damian Amato, the junior, who had to return. And to be honest with you, Joey, I don't think people expected a rain shower to pop up over Hillsboro on homecoming night.
I mean, there was nothing in the forecast, and all of a sudden we get a little something. So, you know, we'll take it. I mean, it is what it is. Hopefully it doesn't play too much in the factor in the game.
Hey, so it rained on their parade, but it's something that everyone will remember one way or the other for homecoming 2024. And obvious congratulations to all the winners. Hope you enjoyed the Pride of Hillsboro Raider Marching Band, a sensational performance once again for halftime. Here's a handoff to Jankowicz, first play of the second half, and nothing there. And a good stop by Owen Williams, the senior. He was able to make the stop there and ends up losing one.
It was a great defensive play by Westfield defensive line coming up and making a big stop there. That's been their bread and butter for Hillsboro too. So that Westfield was able to get a good stop there and have them lose a yard on that was big for them right now.
So now the passing game is going to be a little bit affected by a wet ball, and you got the turf conditions here suddenly getting on the damp side as well. So we're going to keep an eye on those on 2nd and 11. Here's a pass that is caught and taken about the 35-yard line by Ryan Baker, the senior. He was able to grab that one, and he's able to gain about 6. Zukas with the stop, and it's 3rd and 5. So nice play by a Hillsboro to try and make it third and manageable.
Good pass, good catch. I mean, you know, like you said, you don't want the weather to affect the ball, but, you know, they're taking advantage early with it. The ball is still dry, so.
Well, now they're going up tempo here, 3rd and 5. Oh, that could be an offside. Or was he drawn?
On the defense.
That is a big first down for Hillsboro as it's a neutral zone infraction against Westfield.
And that's who it was. That's the call. Encroachment on the defense.
And that's big because every mistake's going to be magnified as we get shorter into the game.
That is correct. I mean, last big penalty, Hillsboro was able to capitalize. Let's see if they can start moving the ball here, too.
Well, they got help on that opening drive. Keep in mind, it took a while for Hillsboro to get a first down, like early second quarter. They finally got their first one. Now they'll triple to right here on 1st and 10. Seaman will fire. Oh, what a beautiful catch in some heavy traffic down to the 48-yard line. And it's Andrew Schwartz with a catch. Nicely done there to stop by number 12. That would be Jordan Walsh.
Good pass, good. He ran a great route there. He just sat in the soft zone, and the quarterback was able to find him and complete the pass in between defenders.
And give credit to Seaman. He threw in a lot of traffic and was able to get Schwartz there in a very tight window.
Yeah, here we thought the weather was going to play factor with the ball, but he's not having any problems with it at all right now.
And that's why our windows are closed right now, but that's another story. 2nd and 3 from the 48. They're going to hand it to, look at this, Jankowicz. He'll slip out of a tackle and get a first down into plus territory at the 45. That's a 7-yard pickup, and they move them chains again.
That's what's important here, right? You want to continue to move the play. You know, so they had a motion to the left, and they ran right behind that motion, the kick out, and he was able to get a good block and cut it back inside. So good run, good play.
All right, so Hillsboro with a nice start to this opening drive of the second half in a 7-7 game. Let's see how Seaman lines everybody up here. Jankowicz looks like he might be lined up on possibly in a line spot. He'll go under center. Now Jankowicz in motion. He'll end up getting the carry into traffic, and it's not going to get much. He'll get to about the 44, so maybe a yard.
Yeah, they tried to come up with a little trickery there, you know, but it didn't work. The defense wasn't fooled. Everyone just stand their ground there, and managed to make a play for minimum yards gained, if anything.
And give credit to Westfield's defense. They've actually done a good job containing Jankowicz for the most part. On the ground, he's had a couple nice plays, but he's been more effective with the pass rather than being a quarterback rather than a running back.
Throwing for a touchdown was big. That's right, that first half. Excellent.
All right, so 2nd and 9. Ball close to the 44-yard line. Again, Seaman back in the shotgun here. They're going to run the play. Jankowicz will slip out of a hole and unfortunately not get back to the line of scrimmage. He may have lost one there. And I think the adjustments by the defense here in the second half may have done Westfield good there.
I think they have. I think they made some pretty decent adjustments there on the defensive line. And also, once again, you see the linebackers coming downhill, filling the holes that they're supposed to fill. Once they see the window opening up, they know that somebody's coming through there. They step inside, they fill that hole, and they make a play.
3rd and 9. Again, the ball just shy in between the 45 and the 44. Line of gain is just shy of the 35-yard line. Let's see what happens. They're going to go empty gun here. They're going to go heavy on the right. First time we've seen that. Seaman alone to shotgun. He'll take it. Goes back. Rush coming. Going to take a shot downfield, but Jankowitz, it's a little too high, incomplete. He had to throw just a hair early. If he waited maybe half a second, that might have been 6.
That might have been 6. It was a good call by the offensive coordinator there. Catching Westfield sleeping there. They didn't expect that at all. I mean, they probably thought it was trying to play the sticks, but he went for it all on that one. It was a good call.
And so 4th down comes, and Hillsborough will punt yet again. I think the goal is get it inside the 20, and if you can, inside the 10. Beware of the fake here. They are 3 wide receivers here, and the punt is taken.
Punt.
Is it going to make – oh, it's not going to make a good bounce because it goes in the end zone for a touchback, and that'll mean Westfield ball 1st and 10 to 20. The goal was to get inside the 20, but he just couldn't do that.
Right. Well, this time you didn't want a good roll this time. You wanted a little top spin to come back, maybe stay in the play of field rather than going into the end zone. But, I mean, it's a good kick, good punt, 20 yards. Play defense, let's go.
It's a 44-yard punt, no return. And Westfield will get their opening drive of the second half with 7:47 left in the third. Just to recap the scoring, Jackson Jankowitz, through a 36-yard halfback option, scored a Berto Santiago to give Hillsborough the lead in the second quarter, but then coming right back after a questionable pass interference call was the running back, Blake Rudeau, who ran for a 26-yard touchdown, level to score there. Now let's see what happens with Westfield 1st and 10. They're going to hand off. And it's going to go up the middle. There's a big, trouble. Crossing the 40 to midfield, all the way down to 41-yard line. Speaking of Rudeau, that was a 37-yard gain. And you can thank Cooper Carsey making the stop. Otherwise, it's another major defensive lapse for Hillsborough. But they saved the touchdown. And it'll be 1st and 10 from the Hillsborough 43 for Westfield.
It was a good call. He ran off tackle there. I don't know what happened to the end and the defensive tackle. I don't know where the linebacker was. He got second level really quick. And all that you had was a safety chasing him down. Lucky thing he was able to chase him down from behind.
So it's 1st and 10 from the 43 of Hillsborough. How quickly field position has changed here. Low snap. It's going to be a quarterback keeper crossing the 40, and that's probably all he gets. Maybe he gets to the 39. They're going to say he's out to 41, actually.
Number 12, Jordan Walsh with carry.
It actually Walsh with a jet sweep there, and it ends up being a 2-yard pickup.
Good job by the defense. Good call by the offense. Trying to keep the ball on the ground. Trying not to put it in the air. Maybe they don't feel comfortable with it right now. But good running play. Offensive line is getting on their blocks and creating holes for Westfield right now.
2nd and 8, ball spot at the 41. We're in a 7-7 game, but Westfield threatening here in their opening drive of the third quarter. Let's see what Cole Wiedler does. He'll take it. It's a handoff. Again, Rudeau crossing the 35. Might have a first down depending on the spot. And yeah, he is getting a first down. Guerrero with the stop, a gain of 9 and a first down for Westfield, who suddenly their running game has come alive.
So see, they found something on that right side of the offense. I don't know what to tell you about defensive line. They're not getting off their blocks and making a play. And the linebacker, I don't see the linebacker coming up at all.
Rudeau and Jankowitz, that's been the running back battle here, and Rudeau has a slight edge. But not this time, as he got that one. And Guerrero says, no way. Down he goes for a 2-yard loss.
That was a good play by the defensive end, outside backer there, actually. Good play by him coming down the line of scrimmage and making that play. So, credit to the defense right now, for getting that loss there.
All right, 2nd and 12. They're going to spot the ball at the 36-yard line. Wiedler just went to the sideline, and head coach Matt Enzel wanted to make sure he got the right play call coming from the sideline. They condense it a little bit, just the receiver to the right, a little modified here. He'll take, and he'll keep it himself. And he'll try and slip out. He does. He'll get to about the 30, maybe the 29. So a little bit of misdirection there. and it ends up being a 3rd and 5, and a big play coming up here right now, halfway through the third quarter.
It was a good call by the offense. The defensive end was thinking inside. He got caught a bit on there, managed to still maintain the outside position, but, the quarterback was able to get out there and get a few yards on that play.
That was actually Jordan Walsh who took it himself that time. He kind of did a little wildcat scenario here. So now 3rd and 6. Ball spotted inside the 30. Going to give him to 29. 23 is the line of gain. Weidler back in. He'll stand the shotgun. Fans making noise here in Hillsboro. Weidler will take it. Goes back. Looks. He'll throw right pass. Caught. Spin move. 25. Got the first down to the 20-yard line. And once again, Colin Coyle was able to slip out of a tackle and able to get a first down. Another big 3rd down conversion for Westfield as they are on the edge of the red zone.
Colin Coyle's been having a big game this evening here. He's been open every other play, and he catches the ball. He turns upfield. He's a big guy. Doesn't look like Hillsboro wants to get on him and make a play, but they need to defend him.
I think he knew that he needed to find a spot to plant his foot, and he did it perfectly, which caused a couple of people to kind of have him to tackle, but he couldn't bring him down. Whoops, and now we got what looks to be a potential false start.
Got this here.
It is a false start against Westfield. That's the first of the game.
False start on the offense.
So now back it up 5. Obviously, that did not look like a pretty snap the way that came out.
It didn't come out nice at all. You are correct. I mean, it just helps the Hillsboro defense now to play, to play a little more, give them a little more space here. Same token, it also gives the offense room to run a better play than what they had initially.
So at the Hillsboro 25, 1st and 15. Weidler will wait to snap. He'll take. Now a delay handoff. Rudeau. And he'll dive his way to about the 21 for a 4-yard pickup. So he gains most of the penalty yardage back. And it's 2nd and 11.
Much better job by the defense this time. Not allowing him to be able to get back, make a cut and get by, on that play.
Now they're going to go up tempo here. They got a receiver on each side. 2nd and 12 from the 22. Coyle's in motion. He'll end up being the left slot. Play fake. Going back. Going to take a shot at the end zone. It is knocked away, incomplete. And a flag down late. And we just heard a rumbling in the press box here, probably for some displeasure, but let's see what the official call is. Regardless, it's going to be half the distance to the goal if it is on Hillsboro.
What do you got?
We got 5 in the back. We got 5, so we offset it penalty.
Okay.
Oh, and they have fouls on both sides preliminarily. Let's listen.
We've got this here, defense here, offset. Second down.
So there was an illegal formation against Westfield and a pass interference against Hillsboro. So unlike the NFL, there's no 5-15 rule. So they offset the fouls and we'll just do the play over again.
Replayed it down again, which is good. Which is good for Hillsboro right now.
That's
but
a huge break, too.
Very, very big break for them. So they need to stay smart.
5 men in the backfield.
And now the official holding play off for a moment, making sure that the play is properly set and they have the proper cast of characters on the field. We're under 4 minutes left in the third. Westfield trying to take their first lead. They send the man in motion on 2nd and 12. Drop snap! Oh. So he was on his knee. Weidler caught the ball but has his knee down. He ends up losing a few yards, better than losing the ball.
Down.
Ends up being 3rd and super long now for Westfield.
Well, I mean, once again, a big break for Hillsboro here. Well, the snap was bad, and he went down to a knee to get the ball, and apparently, he was down. So here we have 3rd and long.
Quite long, back at the 26-yard line. You're looking at 3rd and 16. So now Hillsboro really going to try and dig deep. And remember, Westfield has Lucas, and we'll see how strong his leg is. Coyle's in motion. 3rd and 16. Back to pass. Looking. Got to take that same play again. And it's knocked out incomplete. And this time, no flag.
Again.
They went for Mangarini. And it ended up going incomplete. So good defensive play. Now, here's an interesting call. If you're Westfield on this wet turf, do you try a 43-yard field goal?
It doesn't look like they're going to try. I mean, I know in the extra point, the kicker really booted the ball. It looked like he has a really strong leg. So offense is staying out there. I believe they're going to try to run this, play here. And if not get a first down, at least you get some yardage to pin Hillsborough back just a little further, make it a little longer for them to be able to get back.
Or maybe a potential pooch punt here. While they're going for it, they got 3 wide. It looks like the slot's to the right. Coyle's there. Weidler will take the snap. They do go for it. Going back, looking. Same play again. And there's a flag down, I believe, on the near side. Pass is caught. But let's see what the penalty flag is on the near side of the field.
It's ineligible.
Oh, man.
You're going to refuse
Could
to
it
take
be
the ball
again?
right. All right, we have an ineligible receiver downfield, number 5 on the offense. The penalty is refused. It's going to be a first down this way.
So it turns out the play was 2 yards shy of a first down, and yet again, Zach Rack gets hit with an illegal player downfield foul. So that means Hillsborough will get the ball on downs with 2:58 left as they decline the penalty.
That was a big penalty there. And again on number 5, that's his 3rd, I believe, already.
That's
for
correct.
The same thing. I mean, at some point, coaches got to pull them and say, hey, listen, just stay on the line and block. Don't forget about going upfield, and that's it.
Downfield, number 5 on block.
And we don't know if that is a constant problem or not, but I mean that is a drive killer right there. But meanwhile, Hillsborough is at their own 15, 1st and 10. They get the ball back. And here's Schwartz trying to sneak the. Look at this! Schwartz. He's gone 30, 40. He's gone a long way to the 40, to the 30. Tripped up there at probably the 28.
Great job by the running back. Great offensive play. Good blocking by the offensive line. So
a 56-yard run for Andrew Schwartz. I think it looked like 2 on there, wasn't it?
It was great run by him. He tucked the ball in afterwards. Once he got open to the open field, he put the ball away and started running, and he got ran down from behind. But great play, great blocking by the offensive line to spring him in.
White, I'm sorry. That was White.
Well, there is a shaken up Westfield player down the near side.
You got a replay coming.
Oh yeah, let's take a look again while we have a moment.
All right.
Luckily, he's up and okay from what we're seeing, but watch again.
Good block by the offensive lineman once again. The pulling guard, man, is number 75, gets a great block on the linebacker. And he even knows it. He put his hand up in the air like, yeah, I got that one. Good job, good run. Great block by number 75 there on the offensive line.
Another 2 inches, and it's an 85-yard touchdown run. But he got 57 to the 28-yard line. And again, a field position flipper right there.
Yeah, great job. Great job by the offensive line. That was a great job there. So, good run. And Hillsborough got the momentum now.
And this is a guy you should watch because Schwartz is a junior. When Jankowitz leaves after this year, this is going to be a main guy.
Okay, yeah, that's correct. He will be the workhorse after that. That is correct next year.
All right, let's find out what happens. 1st and 10 to Westfield 28. Seaman under center. And they're going to hand it off, looks like along the side. And I think Jankowitz ended up getting it. Yes, he did, to about the 22-yard line. Maybe the 20.
Great run. He just got behind his blockers there. He got little. He stood underneath everybody and managed to get through and get a few yards there.
He got to the 21. Coyle with the stop. Been affected on both sides of the ball, Con Coyle. 2-way player. And now waiting for the call here as the clock will run to 2 minutes and counting here in the 3rd quarter in a 7-7 game in what has been an exciting defensive battle. Sounds like an oxymoron if I just described that. All right, they hand it off. Here's Schwartz again. Let's see, he turn the corner. He'll get the first down. However, we got a flag down. And let's see what this is about.
Number? You got a number, buddy, Chance? All right. We have holding on the offense.
That was unfortunate because that would have been a first down for Hillsborough. And now that holding penalty, more often than not, that's a drive killer.
On the offense. Still repeat, 2nd down.
Remember, it's 10 yards from the spot of the infraction, and you repeat the down.
Well, I mean, that was unfortunate for Hillsborough there. That was a good run by Schwartz to still, even if he would have gotten the first down there. But now it makes it 2nd and maybe 9?
Well, they're
a little more than that.
The hold was behind the line, actually right at the line of scrimmage. So it ends up being 2nd and 13 now. So a tough call against Hillsborough. I mean, you got to remember, sometimes right place, right time, and the hands are in the wrong place at the wrong time, you're going to get called.
That is correct. I mean, these are not the mistakes you want right now. You're trying to get into the end zone here. Your defense is playing good. You know, you want to be able to get something out of this.
2nd and 13. Seaman back to pass, in trouble, and down he goes at the 36-yard line. And what a sack. That is Joe DiMattina, the junior, came along the left side and just ended up flattening Seaman. And now it's 3rd and long. And again, there's your holding call and the repercussions that follow.
That is correct. There you go. So, I mean, he was untouched. He just came right off the end there and was able to make a play.
Yeah, spot the ball at the 35, so it's going to be 3rd and 17. They have to get to the 18 for the line of gain.
Let's see what he comes up with here now.
Try to make sure everybody's on the same page. Berto Santiago looking at Kevin Carty and trying to make sure everybody's on cue here. They're going to go 3-wide slot right here. Looks like Schwartz going to be the slot receiver. Jankowitz to the left of Seaman. 3rd and 17 from the 35. Seaman getting ready for the snap. He takes it, goes back, looking, takes a fire. Pass caught by Jankowitz, and he's going to fight his way short of a first down, and he'll get maybe 4 or 5 yards shy.
Now the decision, right? You know, whether you go for it here on 4th down, depending on what the yardage is, or do you bring in your kicker and try to get that 3 points?
That's a good question. So Derek Coburn was the one with the stop. So now 4th and 5 at the 23. If they were to try a field goal, it's a 40-yarder.
All right. Yeah, so I guess you maybe not, your kick is maybe not as good as you think, so you got to go for it here.
Slippery turf, too.
There it is. Yeah, we still rain a little bit out there. So.
Well, like I said, it was a brief shower, but it sure wrecked things here. 4th and 5 from the 23. Again, they spread it out. Jankowitz to the left of Seaman. Now looks like coach wants to change the play. And are we going to have a timeout? Yeah, Hillsboro's going to call a timeout. So why don't we take a break with 18 seconds left in the third. We'll find out what Hillsboro does on 4th down in a 7-7 game. Find out what happens when we come back. Okay, we're back after the Hillsboro timeout. Looks like they are going to go for it and pass up a 40-yard field goal. Again, they spread. This time, Jankowitz to the right of Seaman. 4th and 5 from the 23-yard line. Here's Seaman with the snap, looking, throws out the middle. Pass is caught at the goal! Welcome to the end zone! Berto Santiago clears the area for the second time with a second touchdown reception on 13 seconds left in the third, and Hillsboro retakes the lead.
Great call by the offense. Great call. Great route by Santiago at that. The kid is really electrifying. I really like him. Every time I come out here, he does something with the ball. He's an amazing player. So that was a great call.
That is senior leadership right there. So Berto comes through with a second touchdown reception, and now they will send Andrew Advani on to kick the extra point. The snap. Oh, kick is going to be short. It's no good. Let's see if it comes back to haunt them, but we're going to go ahead and take a break here with 13 seconds left in the third. Hillsboro with the lead on Westfield, 13-7. We'll break here and come back in a moment.
Third quarter, 13-0.
Back here in Hillsboro at David Noonan Field, Hillsboro just took a 13-7 lead on a 23-yard touchdown the second receiving touchdown of the game by Berto Santiago from his second quarterback. The first one was Jackson Jankowitz. That one was Ryan Seaman there. And the kickoff is going to sail all the way to 5:14. It'll be a touchback. So Westfield will start 1st and 10. But keep in mind, the extra point was no good, and we're going to see if that plays a role later on.
That's a big deal, yeah, because special teams right now, once again, is something else. Oh, here we have a replay.
Let's take a look at the touchdown, by the way.
Good route by Santiago there.
Short toss.
Once again, what happened there, the defender just gave him an inside release, didn't play him inside. He might have thought he had the safety over the top to help him, but there was nobody there.
There was an in cut there, and Santiago just turned at the right time and just started perfectly on that 4th down.
I mean, even if you're in a cover 2, you still want to play inside out. You want to play inside leverage to not give him that free release there. You want to use the sideline as your friend, but the defender just allow him to get upfield untouched, and that's it. That's the results right there. Santiago, 2 touchdowns for the night.
Now let's see how Westfield responds. The first time Hillsboro scored, they responded back. Let's see what the Blue Devils do this time. It's a handoff, and cutting across the middle, probably about the 25-yard line, and it's Walsh again, as we will flip the script and go to 3-quarter time. So we'll switch sides after 3. Hillsboro leads Westfield by a score of 13-7. Don't you go anywhere. We got the final quarter coming up right after this.
Going to bed. Christmas makes me believe in love.
All right, as we set for the final quarter, Westfield with the ball at their 26-yard line, and Hillsboro up 13-7. I'm Tom Wilkins with Joey Pagan, Howard Gable with the controls. By the way, the Westfield coaching staff, the captains are Jack Martin and Zach Ragg, head coach Matt Enzel, assisted by Kenneth Miller, Sam Heyman, James Beatty, Nati Akaloya, Dave Hancock, and Tom Langston, also coached by Jay Cook, and Jim McKeon. Volunteers are Donald Cassett, Donald Dayon, Hank Shapiro, and Lee Gallman. And so we'll see what what Westfield does here. 2nd and 5, a low snap. Here's a handoff, and Rudeau is not going to get much, maybe a yard to the 26. Some progress scores. We didn't quite give you those yet. A couple finals in. Hillsboro's next opponent is Bridgewater Raritan. Well, Bridgewater Raritan just improved to 3-3 as they eked out a 28-27 win over Elizabeth. Bridgewater Raritan was up by 22 in that game. Elizabeth almost got them. They fell 1 point short. Plainfield over Franklin 34-2 in a game that was played earlier tonight. 3rd and a yard. Here's a play fake, and the handoff's going to be a 1st down to about the 33-yard line. Other scores in progress. Manville 13-0 over J.P. Stevens. Piscataway 21-7 over Sayreville. Last check, 8-0 Somerville over Summit. And Phillipsburg, who put up 42 against Hillsboro last week, they're up 14-0 on West Orange. Oh, I'm sorry. Somerville's now 48-0 over Summit. I apologize. I only saw the 8-0 score. I didn't see any other numbers because they're all must have been a lot of scoring in the second quarter. That's my guess. Oh, here's a drop snap and trying to get around and nowhere to go.
We got nothing.
Down to about the 31-yard line. And Jones stops Walsh there. And like I said, with the wet turf, that's affecting ball security.
It definitely is. It definitely is. I mean, this plays good for Hillsboro at the moment. Their defense needs to come up with a big stop here and not allow this Westfield offense to get on track for anything whatsoever. So
that's a big 3-yard loss. Ball standing at the 30-yard line. Actually, 2nd and 13 coming up. And Westfield's got to be a bit more crisp despite the wet turf. The rain has stopped. But again, a little homecoming surprise with a little light shower coming here. Kind of changed the complexion of this game here. They send Magarini in motion, back to pass. And a pass is a little wide and incomplete. And they went again to Blake Rudeau, and he just couldn't come up with it.
Listen, I mean, it was a good defense. I mean, good pass, but, I thought there were going to be another penalty on that. The offensive lineman was already downfield blocking, but, Westfield got away with that one, but good defense by Hillsborough there. Third down and 13 now. Let's see what Westfield dials up here.
Sometimes they'll catch you, sometimes they won't. So 3rd and 13 from the 30-yard line. Let's see what Cole Wheeler does. He's in the shotgun. They send Coyle in motion. Back to pass. Looking, got to take a shot downfield. Double coverage. Not quite, incomplete. It was a little bit wide. And once again, they went to Magarini. And it kind of was going to head out of bounds anyway. That would have been a sensational catch if he would have come down with it. But a little bit wide, and Westfield will punt.
Good defense, though. You had two defenders there on him, so it would have been a tough catch to make. It was a good throw, a little bit out of bounds, let him a little bit too much out of bounds, but, good defense there by Hillsborough. Now we get the ball back, and hopefully we can do something with it here and get some more points on this board.
Well, Santiago's standing at his own 35-yard line, and a ground ball, and wait a minute. The whistle blew. Let's see what this is about. Oh, his knee was down. His knee was down. And Hillsborough's going to get the ball in the red zone at the 19-yard line. What a mistake by Westfield as he fielded the punt with his knee down.
Let's take a look at it, Tom, here. Let's see. It was a low snap, I believe,
Let's
right?
see if it was the right call. It was a low ground ball.
And yes.
Yep, you are correct. Ooh,
I don't know. Okay, knee was down on that play, and that's what
yeah, I guess it might have been his posterior down too, and that would count as well. But what a break for Hillsborough, as special teams were not special at all for Westfield, and Hillsborough's in the red zone at the 20, 1st and 10. They go split backs, and Schwartz has it. He'll have a whole 15 and gets to close to the 10, maybe the 8.
Good job by the offensive line there, getting on their blocks and giving Schwartz a little room because he doesn't need much. He just needs a crack to be able to break through the line of scrimmage and get upfield and start running. And, good job by them.
That's a 14-yard pickup by Schwartz. And considering how he's run, he might be the one getting 100 yards in this game.
To have a strong possibility, yeah. Let's see if he gets in the end zone now.
And now Cardi's decided to go with split backs between Seaman. Here's Jankowitz. He'll tear it up. Tries to turn the corner. He does. To the 10, to the 5, and down to the 4.
Good job by the defense. Great pursuit, coming over to make a play on that, not allowing Jankowitz to get a cutback lane. The defenders were all there and was able to corral him just before he got into the, any more yardage. Maybe got 3 yards or something like that out of it.
All right, well, it'll be 2nd and goal from the 4, and Hillsborough needs to get points to make this a 2-possession game. Even if they don't get in the end zone, they kick the field goal, it's a 2-possession game.
That's correct.
This time they're going to go with a traditional I formation. Jankowitz, the down the I. Let's see if he gets it. He will. Up the middle, dives. I don't think he got in. And a good stop by Owen Williams, the senior. And it ends up being 3rd and goal as Jankowitz didn't get anything that time.
Good stop by Westfield's defensive line there. They all stood their ground and were able to make a good play there on that. I mean, Jankowitz had a little room, but not much. So, what do you do here 3rd down? I mean, you may call the same thing again or, just something a little different.
You know what? Maybe do a little misdirection, get Schwartz involved. I mean, he's really been the one that's been the spark plug in the second half.
You have your big back in there, number 33 also.
That's true. Let's see if they give it to him. No back to pass. A lob and a catch. Welcome to the end zone. Chip Neozapor.
Great job. Great play action there. Everybody was thinking run, and he slid out into the back of the end zone and was able to make a great catch. It was a little high, but he was able to bring it down.
He went up the chimney for that one.
He sure did.
And brought it all down, and Hillsborough extends their lead with 8:04 left in regulation. The question now is, do you go for 2?
I think we go for 1 here. I think you go for traditional 1, but, let's see what Coach calls.
Might call a swinging gate first.
Well, a swinging gate would technically mean we're going for 1.
All right, looks like you're going for 2, guys.
It sounds like they are going to go for the 2-point conversion here.
All right, let's see. Yes, they are.
All right, well, let's see what happens. Seaman lines up, left hash mark, man in motion, 2-point conversion. Back he goes, looking, rolling. What'll he do? Back it up, and a lob, and a knockdown incomplete.
Good try.
That was more of the mini Hail Mary, just trying to see if somebody can catch the ball. It didn't quite work. So
Right.
the conversion fails. So why don't we check the replay out as Hillsboro's lead is now 19-7. I'll tell you, Chimney went way up to get that one.
Let's watch the play action here. Great ball fake. So, all the defensive backs and linebackers just bit on that run. They all step forward. He releases off the line. Nobody even touched him. Good throw, good pass. Let's watch. He goes up and gets that one. Good job.
I'll tell you one thing. You talk a 6-foot tight end. He was able to snag it, and what a catch by Chimney.
That's a great play. I mean, that's what happens when you get some great running plays between the two backs. You get a good play action there. Touchdown.
By the way, we want to send our crazy shouts and our thanks to Bruce Wayne, who, of course, the Hillsboro Touchdown Club, of course, sponsors this broadcast. So hopefully everybody is doing well there. And I wanted to mention, of course, the staff for the Hillsboro Raiders, Kevin Carty Jr., the head coach, assisted by his dad, Kevin Carty Sr., along with Don Adams, Wayne Briggs, Vince Coviello, Patrick Dinapoli, PJ Jankowicz, Rocco Mazzagatti, and Tim O'Sullivan. And we'll go through the rest in a moment, as here's the kickoff taken at about the 11-yard line. Let's see what happens here. And not even getting to about the 20-yard line. Great return, but he didn't get too far. And somebody we haven't called, Xander Borowski, had a really nice game in Phillipsburg last week. He ends up making the tackle there. And Westfield, with under 8 minutes left, they have all three of their timeouts, but they need 2 scores.
They need 2 scores. They're down 2 scores, and Hillsboro's defense has been playing a little bit better this second half. I guess the adjustments were made, and, the right ones at that, and they're playing much better now. So let's see if they can come up with another big stop here.
I had 2 words to describe it. Prevent, prohibited.
Prevent, prohibited. There you go.
1st and 10 for the 20. They're going to go with an inside handoff, and diving his way to about the 25, maybe the 26-yard line. Again, Rudeau with the carry. But they're going to have to go very quickly. Del Toro with the stop.
I mean, Durow, he's been their workhorse tonight. He's had a couple of great runs, and they're trying to get him back into the game here.
2nd and 5 from the 25. Wheeler back will throw right pass. Is tapped. And it is caught only for a couple of yards to about the 27-yard line.
That's a good defense. It was deflected, so that was good. But,
But I'll tell you what, the receivers have done a very good job in concentration. There have been a couple deflected balls, and there was one that was caught by Magarini. I mean, it was more like a propeller coming to him, and he was able to make the catch.
And he was able to focus and bring the ball in, which was great.
3rd and 3 from the 27-yard line. Wheeler in the shotgun. Takes a snap, looking. He's being chased right. Looking, lobbing to nobody. Incomplete, except for the bench.
Great defense player. The defense had some great pressure there, so, he had no choice but to roll right and get rid of the ball. He had nobody open, so that was, the coverage there.
Well, here's a question. Are you going for it? With under 7 minutes left, you need 2 scores, and they both had to be touchdowns, by the way.
I do believe they're going to go for it here. I mean, you got no choice here.
Let's see what happens. Once again, Wheeler in the shotgun. Got a receiver on each side. He'll take the snap. Rolls right inside handoff Rudeau. Rudeau will dive. He got the first down.
What a call on that 4th down. You call a draw play.
They've done that a few times in this game.
Yeah.
They draw, and they've been putting up some good pictures here on those plays.
I mean, and once again, it's a great call, smart, right? The defense is playing soft. They don't want to give up that big play, so they give up the big run.
1st and 10 for the 33. Here's a pass. And speaking of Magarini, he's able to get that to the 40 for a gain of 8.
Once again, I think Hillsboro's playing a little soft, a little too soft here. You should stay aggressive and keep your game plan. And
that's why prevent prohibited was what I said. Here's Magarini again, and this time he tiptoes out of bounds to stop the clock with 6:18 left. And that's going to reset the chains and give another first down for Westfield.
That was a great catch. He got out of bounds like he was supposed to be able to stop the clock. He came up a little bit limping there. But, once again, there's no reason to play this soft right now. You know, it is 2 touchdowns, but if they score here quickly and then get back and play some defense, you never know.
Yeah, I think they are doing this intentionally to try and go for the home run ball.
It's
Putting
possible.
Hillsborough asleep, and then all of a sudden take your 56-yard shot. 1st and 10 for the 44. We'll see if that holds. Play fake. Throw right. It is caught right at the line and out of bounds.
Watch the jersey. 74.
And that is Jordan Walsh, the sophomore. He's going to be an effective player. He just got 10. Another first down for Westfield.
That's good job, good catch. You know, he ran a good route. He knew exactly where the sticks were. He ran that route far enough to be able to get a first down.
And he's able to get 10 on the play to move the sticks and stop the clock. That's 2 consecutive plays where they were able to stop the clock. Now, they have all 3 of their timeouts, but as far as time management is concerned, they're doing a pretty good job here. Let's see what they do on 1st and 10 from the 46 of Hillsboro. Weidler awaits the snap. He'll get it, looks back, in the pocket, waiting, backing up, now rolling right. He might call his number. He will, 45, and he slams on the brakes out of bounds. They're going to give him the 44-yard line. Del Toro again with the stop.
Yeah, throw that one.
They're only going to give him a yard on that one.
Gave him a yard, but, you know, even though it was only a yard, all important, he got out of bounds.
And again, stops the clock. So they're doing a good job with time management and extending the game.
And not using any of their timeouts to be able to stop the clock.
2nd and 9 for the 45. Weidler in a shotgun, receiver on each side. They've run that formation pretty much all game, and here's that delayed draw. Rudeau, he'll get to the 40, and he'll bound his way to the 38. He's about 2 yards shy of a first down.
Rudeau's got a good game going here. He's doing well running the ball.
And there's a Hillsboro player that is shaken up at about the 40-yard line. Jaden Carter was the one with the stop, but we're going to have an injury timeout here with 5:49 left here in regulation time. So let's break here with Hillsboro up on Westfield 19-7. We'll break and we'll come back with the last part in just a moment.
I got to take a leak anyway.
That was Garrett Roebuck, who was the shaken Hillsboro player down on defense. That he looks like he's walking off on his own power, so that's good news.
That is good news. There.
I was waiting for Joey to bring the microphone down his headset. All right, key play here, 3rd and 2. Clock running, 5:45 and counting in regulation. Weidler in the shotgun. Let's see what happens. He takes it. And he'll call his own number. And he'll get to the 35-34 and move the chains for a first down. He needed 2, but he got 4. And a nice drive going on for Westfield. Remember, they started at about the 19-20-yard line. And here they are, up-tempoing it here at the 34 Hillsboro. Weidler back. He's going to throw one. It's tapped and incomplete.
Wow, we almost had a good turnover there. Number 8 almost picked that off.
That was close and a little hard to catch. He trying to go up in the air, and the ball is wet, probably from the turf.
Yeah, well, it was good defense. He had some pressure, so, you know, it was good that, you know, he was able to get that ball off, but almost made a mistake there.
That'll make it 2nd and 10 from the 34-yard line. Rudeau to his left. Weidler awaiting the snap. He's got it, and Rudeau takes it. Trying to get across the 30. He falls a little bit short. He only gets about 3, so now you got 3rd and 7 coming up at the 31-yard line.
It's a good call, good play. Got a couple of yards, but, you know, this kind of play hurts Westfield because the clock still is running.
Well, they still have time. 3rd and 7. They got to make this one. Back goes Weidler looking. Going to take a shot in the pass.
Oh, wait a minute.
We got a first down.
Oh, it's caught.
First down.
Oh, it's intercepted. I'm sorry.
Well,
or is it?
Wait.
Let's see what the officials say. We're confused. Oh,
Well,
they're going to say it's a catch
they're
and a
gonna say
first
it's a
down
catch.
at the 21-yard line.
All right.
Wow, that was close. And now Wheeler calls his own number, gets into the red zone, and shoves his way to about the 17-yard line.
Wow.
Slow.
I mean, that was a crazy play there. I mean, it didn't look like he caught the ball. It looked like it was an interception.
Well, maybe they both had hands on it, and tie goes to the receiver in that case. Green Bay, Seattle, let's not forget that.
That is true.
They called it Hail Mary, but it really wasn't. 2nd and 8 from the 18. Wheeler's going to throw, again caught, and then stepping out of bounds to stop the clock. And Coyle makes the grab. Advani with the stop, but it's once again 3rd and 7. And here we go again.
Here we go again. I mean, once again, good smart play. They got a couple of yards there. He was able to get out of bounds. They still have all 3 timeouts. If they can score here and get back and play defense, you're right, Tom. They might have a chance.
And they have all 3 timeouts. The Hillsborough faithful calling for defense. 3rd and 7 from the 18. Wheeler takes it. Goes back, pump fakes, lobs it to absolutely nobody in the back corner of the end zone. I guess there was a miscommunication on the route, so that's going to be a 4th and 7, and this could be last chance time for Westfield.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is going to be a big 4th down for them here. You have to see what happens, what they call here. I mean, we got to look for this, our big guy, the tight end again, number 84. Or, I mean, listen, they've done it before, 4th and long. They go to the draw play. They may call it again.
They have all 3 of their timeouts. Hillsborough crowd getting into it again. 4th and 7 from the 18. Wheeler in the shotgun. This is it here. Back to pass. Looking. Gonna take a shot. It's caught, and you caught it. Coyle bouncing off somebody, and he welcomes himself into the end zone. Wow. You talk about Coyle just crashing into somebody, and the wall just went down. He's like, okay, I'll take that.
Yeah, he just shrugged them off really quickly. And here we go. I think they're going to go for 2 here, or they're going to go for 1.
Well, it doesn't matter. You still need a touchdown anyway.
Right. So you go for 1 here, make it easy on yourself.
Well, here's the thing. You now made it down to 4:05 left, and you've already accomplished half of what you need to.
And you still have your 3 timeouts.
Lucas with the extra point. Oh, he bobbled a snap. Let's see what he does. He's going to lob and throw one, which ends up being knocked down. Doesn't matter to you. Point's no good. Now, and then Lucas got knocked down on the throw. We're waiting to see a roughing the kicker on a pass. That'd be a first.
Yes.
But let's take a look.
Let's take a look at this touchdown.
Let's look at Coyle's touchdown reception on 4th and 7, the 18-yard strike.
It's like I said, you got to watch out for the receiver, number 84. I mean, once again, to the middle of the field. They didn't defend the middle of the field again. I mean, the defender sees him, and then when he comes up to make a play, what happens here? Get on him. Just get off.
Bonnie had no chance. That was a mismatch.
Yeah. It's been that way all night with this kid. Open in the middle of the field the whole game.
That was fullback versus defensive back there.
Yeah.
But now it's 19-13, and suddenly we have a game again.
Well, now it's on Hillsborough, right? Let's see what they do, how they control the ball, and this clock. Keep the clock running and get these first downs here so that,
And not only that, Westfield has all 3 of their timeouts. So they're going to need, for Hillsborough, they're going to need a couple of first downs to close this out.
That is correct. They're going to need to get a few first downs here in order to keep the clock running, but Westfield does have their 3 timeouts.
But keep your eye out. Look at how Hillsborough's lined up in case of onside kick.
And they got the hands teams out there.
They have everyone except the returner, Jankowitz, standing back at the 10, and they're going to kick it to him. And Jankowitz decides, no, thank you. So Hillsborough will start the 20-yard line.
That's a good kick. Good kick. Now, we have to see what Hillsborough comes up with this offensive series here.
Well, by the way, next week, Hillsborough will be playing in a Bridgewater Raritan, who just escaped over Elizabeth by a point this week. But the game will be in Bridgewater Raritan, then they're in Piscataway, and then we'll have the last home game, which will be on HSG Network 3 weeks' time from now. October 25th at home against Herndon Central. That should be a lot of fun. I know some people up there, so that game is going to get promoted
yes,
to a bunch of those people in Herndon County. So for Hillsborough, 1st and 10, here's a handoff, Jankowitz, and he'll shove his way to maybe about the 23. That's all he gets. Westfield next week will be in North Brunswick. The clock continues to run with 3:50. Oh, wait, now they stop the clock.
And we got a white time.
And timeout will be called by Westfield. So they'll use it first, and we'll take a break with 3:49 left in regulation. Hillsborough up 19-13. We'll come back in a moment. Okay, following Westfield's first timeout use, it'll be second and a long 7. Ball spot at the 23-yard line. Hillsborough looking to close out Westfield, and we'll see if they're able to do it in the next few plays. They will give to Jankowicz. Cutting, has room, and gets a nice gain to about the 27, a gain of 4. So it's 3rd and 3, and Westfield's going to use their second timeout as we're down to 3:40 left. And I guess we're going to take another break. So it's 19-13. Hillsborough will come back again in a moment.
When you want reliable work, trust family-owned A&B Landscaping to make your property look its best. With over 25 years of experience, our design team will help create an oasis in your backyard with landscaping, hardscaping, retaining walls, and more. Our commercial customers rely on us for landscaping and maintenance too. So no matter what type of property, we can handle it. We're the company you can trust, so give us a call today.
You may remember these two teams met in 2012, and the final score was more like a college basketball score, as Hillsborough won that game 57-34. But since then, Westfield's won 3 out of the last 4. Hillsborough's last win against Westfield was 28-7 in Westfield, that dream unbeaten season from 3 years ago. But here's 3rd and 3. They got Jankowicz turning the corner. There's a flag down. He gets a first down. He's running to midfield. Cuts to another tackle. He's still running down to the 28. But there is a flag down at the beginning of the play. This will probably come back. We'll see what the referee says. That was a lot of running that may have just gone for naught.
Number 11? Is it 11? All right, we have holding on the offense, number 11.
They get Sanjay Mills on a hold, and that is a huge, huge blow to Hillsborough.
Yeah, he managed to get to the outside on that, just the way you want him to, and turn upfield and get a big gain.
This here, 3rd down.
It's 10 yards from the spot of the foul, and the officials are going to mark it all the way back inside the 20, down to the, they're going to say the 17-yard line. So a 3rd and 13, and that's going to change things here. The only thing this does, the clock does run.
Right. So, he managed to get some time off there, but, you still need a first down here. Without a first down, you're giving Westfield the ball back with 2 timeouts.
I thought they used one after the second down play, but let's see what happens here on a 3rd and 13, and now we're going to have another timeout. This time, Hillsborough's going to be using it. So we're going to keep it here. So at this point.
White 2, black 1. White 2, black 1.
Oh, yeah, to confirm. Okay. So we got to give the Hillsborough coaches once again. We didn't quite get through the whole list. Kevin Carty Jr., the head coach. His father, Kevin Carty Sr., assists, as well as Don Adams, Wayne Briggs, Vince Coviello, Patrick DiNapoli, P.J. Jankowicz, Rocco Mazzagatti, and Tim O'Sullivan. As far as the Hillsborough staff, the superintendent is Mike Volpe. Principal is Jeff DeLolo. The athletic director is Michael Davis. The athletic trainers are Michael Schiffman and Amanda Miller. The cheerleading squads, who's done a wonderful job here tonight, Samantha Shirk and Amanda Rebello, and of course the team doctors James Monica and the Pride of Hillsborough Raider Marching Band, whom you saw a great halftime performance, and of course did the national anthem, led by directors Jules Horan and Nick Clipperton. So that's your staff for Hillsborough. And I was just going to ask you, Joey, what are both teams saying on each of your sidelines?
Oh, well, right now, Hillsborough is thinking about we need the first down, no penalties here. Let's get this play in and get it right. And Westfield is like, no penalties either. Let's rally to the ball. Let's keep them in bounds. And get the ball back.
Timeouts, right? Is it the other way around?
No.
All right, so it'll be 3rd and 13. Boy, that holding penalty has proved costly twice for Hillsborough. Let's see what they do as Seaman will take the pass. He's looking, going to take a shot. Pass is caught well short of a first down, though, at about the 25, maybe the 26. And Jankowicz was able to get a little bit more room, but looks like Hillsborough's going to have to punt, and they're going to have to count on their defense to save the day here.
Yeah, it's gonna come down to their defense to have to come up with a big play here. I mean, it's good. It was a good pass, good catch. They got the ball downfield, give themselves some room. But the bad part about it was Jankovic stepped out of bounds, and the clock stopped.
Oh, that's big. All right, Nate Drab will punt. Let's see if he gets a good one. They're probably going to come and try and block. But now they got a returner coming out in Nicholas Russo. Here's the snap. Not much pressure. And the punt is going to be a neutral bounce. And Westfield's going to get a good start from their own 45, 46-yard line. And that is where they have a chance for a game-winning drive.
All right, well, here's where Hillsborough's defense has to come up big, right? Once again, like I said, that last offensive series, I felt that they were playing a little bit too soft. And, and it showed. They were able to get quick passes out of bounds and stop the clock, not have to use any of their timeouts. Now, they still have 2 timeouts, I believe. The question is Hillsborough going to have an answer for Kyle, what's his name then?
That would be the tight end,
yeah.
Colin Coyle, who's had a great game. And keep in mind, he's a two-way player.
Yeah, he's had a great game, and he's been open over the middle so much. Now, you would think that, now is the time you either close that middle down, get your linebackers to get a little more drop, or you're going to get somebody on him one-on-one to cover him.
1st and 10 to 46. Let's see what happens as Weidler. Oh, he lost the snap. He's got to fall on it. At about the 35-yard line. That was the last thing that Westfield needed.
And once again, the clock keeps running. So good break for Hillsborough.
Major break.
Yeah.
2nd and 21 from the 35. Weidler back. He's going to try and gain it all in the double coverage. It's incomplete. And now a late flag comes in. Boy, did they wait long to throw them.
Don't move.
Well, let's find out what this is about, because this came very late.
And what happened with
Tom, not for nothing, I was looking at the referee when the play was going. He was looking for his flag. He just couldn't find it.
All right, 15. No, automatic first. We're going to go 15 from the previous spot. All right, we got defensive pass interference here.
And that's a huge break now for Westfield. They're going to call it defensive pass interference.
All right, you're on the 34.
So that's going to spot the ball at the 49-yard line.
You got defensive pass interference here. Still, second down.
But it is not an automatic first down. They're going to rule it 2nd and 7 now from the 49.
I mean, it's a good play. It's a good break for Westfield. But, I mean, now defensively wise, you really got to dial something up here. I mean, you really got to have a stop.
Let's see what happens. 2nd and 7. They go to the inside handoff. Rudeau only gets a yard to midfield. And the clock runs to 2:10 left and counting.
Good job by the defense rallying to make a play on the ball there,
3rd and 6. Clock coming down to 2 minutes till time. Weidler takes a snap, looking to the lob right. Pass is caught.
Good catch.
And it's a first down, I believe, depending on where they spot it. The 43-yard line. They moved to 6.
That
defensive pass interference. An absolute killer
It is
for
a
Hillsboro.
killer. Yes, it is. As of right now, it sure is. Let's see if they can make up for it, Hillsboro here. Once again, like I said, they're just playing a little bit too soft for me. I would want to be just a little more aggressive on the outside. You got to press these guys. You got to throw the timing off between the quarterback and the receivers, and they're just not doing that.
1st and 10 from the Hillsboro 44. Weidler will take the snap. He's looking. Backs up. Rolls right. Waiting. Now he's going to throw deep. And oh my goodness, almost intercepted. It was thrown to triple coverage. Hillsboro's complaining somebody was held and no flags were thrown. And all of a sudden, one just shot out of a cannon. I don't know where that came from. I think they're going to call a sideline
warning. Black. 2nd down.
All right, so it's just an incomplete pass.
No, it's a warning.
They ruled it a sideline warning. Remember, the first time it's a warning and then a penalty follows.
Well, Hillsboro got lucky on that one there.
Wow, and their fan base was like, what just happened here? 2nd and 10 from the 44. Weidler back. He's going to throw. And there's Coyle with a 1st down at about the 31-yard line. He's driven back there, but that's going to stop the clock with 1:38 left. And look at Westfield. They still got 2 timeouts.
Once again, 2 timeouts, and they're down 6 points. Let's see what happens here. Let's see what they dial up. The clock is still running. There's no rush here. They got
Wait
time.
a second. Official stop and play for a moment.
All right.
Now they're going to start up again. Minute and a half left. Weidler in the shotgun. 1st and 10 from the 31. He'll take it. Rolling right again. Looking. Gonna throw. Too high. Incomplete.
Good defense this time by Hillsboro. And, incomplete pass. It does stop the clock. But once again, 2nd and 10. You still got a minute and 20-some odd seconds left in the game. So.
And where's the Hillsboro pressure been in the second half?
They had a little pressure off the edge there, but not much. Just internally, they haven't had any whatsoever.
Well, 1:21 remains. Hillsboro by 6, but Westfield looking to tie and possibly take the lead late. Drama here on homecoming night in Hillsboro. 2nd and 10 for the 31. Weidler will take it. Goes back. Looks. Going to go with a home run ball, and that one is knocked away incomplete.
Good defense.
At about the 5-yard line.
All right, good defense now. Now, big 3rd down here, Tom. You need a first or need to at least get as much as it if you can and then get out of bounds so that you can go for it on 4th down.
It was intended for Walsh, and it was Sumaya who made the knockaway there. And here go the Hillsboro faithful yelling for defense here. And I'll tell you what, it'll be a step in the right direction if they're able to hold for 2 more plays. But there's still 1:15 left.
Oh, wow. Listen to this crowd going crazy here. They need a big stop here, Hillsboro
It's been a while since it's been this loud. 3rd and 10. Back to pass. Throw left. Pass caught. There's a screen going down to about the 25-24, but he didn't get the 1st down.
And he didn't get out of bounds either. So right now, it's to see whether they're going to call a timeout here or not.
Well, they're going to let it run. 4th and 5. The clock's in the red. 55 and counting. Here we go. 4th and 5.
Stop.
Can Hillsboro make the stop? Weidler will take it. Low snap. Rolls right. Looking. He'll
Got
fire.
nobody.
Didn't matter. It's incomplete.
Great job by Hillsboro defense to come up big there and get that stop and actually win the game for them right now.
Kudos to Cooper Carsey. It was on in coverage. And I actually thought there was going to be like a Hail Mary being thrown, but I don't think there was anyone in the area.
It didn't look like anyone was there. You're right, but it was.
Let's take a look, because I thought that at least 1, maybe 2 receivers may have miscommunicated on that last play.
Yeah, you would have thought he would have went to his big receiver Coyle there, but he ran a shorter route and he was covered. It looked like he was trying to tell somebody to get down. Yeah, there was nobody there.
And Walsh was the only one there in the end zone, and I think the pressure got to him. So Hillsboro's lined up in victory formation, and just as long as they do not fumble the ball on the 3 snaps, provided Westfield tries to stop them, and I don't think they will. Wow. What an escape as Joey leaves is going to get the officials' mics, but I'll tell you what, that was a heck of a game, and kudos to both teams and how the kids really played their hearts out. To Westfield especially, they really gave Hillsboro a game. They're not going to stop the clock. They're going to line up for handshakes, and Hillsboro is going to come away with the 19-13 win. Westfield next week will be home against North Brunswick. Next week, Hillsboro will travel to Bridgewater Raritan. Our next broadcast will be 3 weeks on the 25th, where Hillsboro will play Hunterdon Central here at David Noonan Field. Thanks for joining us here. What a great game here on homecoming night. Your final score, the Hillsboro Raiders 19, the Westfield Blue Devils 13. For Joey Pagan, Howard Gaber, I'm Tom Wilkins. Thanks again for joining us, and please enjoy the rest of your weekend.